I was still draped in black when she made the proclamation. Her son's countenance was smeared with blue frosting, and her guests were clinking glasses and conversing jovially. Then she tapped a teaspoon against her champagne flute, and with a familiar grin, as if we were about to share a private jest, she declared for the entire room to hear, "My son is your husband's child. Therefore, as inheritance, I'll be claiming half of your $800,000 residence." She even held up a photocopy of his will, much like a magician presenting their final trick. I recall pressing my fingernails into my palm, not to stifle tears. Those had dried up days ago, but to hold back the laughter, clawing at my throat. She had no clue what I already knew. I met my husband, John, when I was 23. He was captivating in a subdued manner. Polished footwear, gentle eyes, the kind of man who appeared to hang on to your every word. My sister Emily adored him. She insisted we were a perfect pair, and I believed her. And why wouldn't I? She was my confidant, my other half. For 12 years, I thought I had both a decent husband and a loyal sister. That was my first miscalculation, assuming those two could coexist. The first fissure appeared last summer. John began staying late at his occupation more frequently. At first, I didn't question it. Then I noticed the way he glanced at his phone during dinner, the screen angled away. The way Emily avoided my eyes when she came over. One afternoon, I discovered his cufflinks on the floor of Emily's spare bedroom. She asserted she'd borrowed them for a fancy dress party and forgot to give them back. I smiled and told her it was acceptable. In that instant, something inside me turned cold. I didn't confront her. I didn't confront him. I began observing, listening, and gathering. It was more straightforward than I had anticipated. John had a hidden electronic mail account, with Emily's name in the subject lines, and hotel receipts in the trash bin. I printed everything and documented everything. I didn't rage. I didn't weep. I built a case. 3 weeks before his accident on the motorway in Chicago, I met with our legal representative, John's legal representative. I informed him that John and I had decided to update our final testament. I insisted the abode be placed fully in my name. No co-ownership, no division upon demise. John signed without perusing it. He always placed his trust in me with the paperwork. The will Emily brandished today was outdated by 6 months. John died instantly, the authorities said. I nodded, thanked them, and made the appropriate preparations. Emily embraced me at the burial, whispering, "I'm here for you." I wondered if she could sense the steady pulse of my heart against hers, unbroken, almost eager. When she invited me to her son's first birthday celebration, I went dressed in black. I wanted to witness her reaction when the trap closed. So here we were, her grand announcement still suspended in the air. Guests were frozen mid-bite. I stepped forward, my tone hushed but audible enough for everyone to hear. "Oh, I see," I said. "That's quite astonishing." She smirked, thinking I was trapped. "I'll make contact with the attorney on Monday," she appended, patting my upper arm. "That won't be essential," I replied, reaching into my handbag. I retrieved a single sheet of paper, the legitimate will, current, notarized, and foolproof. "This," I said, "is the only valid legal document in effect." Her smirk faltered. I placed it on the dessert table, the edge cutting through the crumbs and icing. John left everything to me, everything, the dwelling, the accounts, and even the automobile you appreciate borrowing. She reached for it, but I placed my hand over the page. "Be careful. If you smudge this, you'll have to pay for another copy. And from what I understand, raising a child on your own isn't inexpensive." A sharp inhalation from someone in the crowd. She opened her mouth, but I continued. "Oh, and one more thing," I said, my voice now almost delicate. "I'd be very cautious about making public declarations about your son's lineage, especially ones that insinuate my husband fathered him. You see, there are statutes against defaming the deceased, and I possess all of your communiques to substantiate precisely what you were doing when he was alive." Her face went pale. I leaned in just enough for only her to hear. "If you push me, Emily, I'll see you in court for alienation of affection, and I will take everything you have remaining, including him." The guests avoided her eyes after that. The gathering limped on for another 20 minutes before people began leaving in clusters. Emily didn't say goodbye. I drove to my residence in silence. My black dress was wrinkle-free, my lipstick still pristine. I poured myself a glass of vino and sat at the kitchen table, the same one John and I used to share meals at. I expected to feel sorrow or fury. Instead, I felt cleansed. Vengeance isn't boisterous. It's not yelling across a room or throwing dinnerware. It's quiet paperwork. It's allowing someone to think They've emerged victorious right up until they step into the snare you've been tying behind their back. Emily will keep the will I gave her. Outdated, useless. She'll read it over and over, wondering how she miscalculated. She'll hear my voice when she attempts to sleep, soft and tranquil, reminding her that she could lose her child if she crosses me again. People think treachery is the worst part. They are mistaken. The worst part is realizing how simple it is for someone you care for to believe you're blind. The best part is proving you never were. John is gone. Emily is silent. The house is mine, and every time I walk through it, I can almost hear him asking playfully what I'm pondering. I'd smile, pour another glass, and tell him the truth. I was contemplating the day your mistress tried to take half my residence and departed with nothing.